Hello everyone, is this glass half empty or half full? We're chatting about that tonight. It's all about mindset tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Crown Business TV. So join us, we'll be back right after. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crown Business TV. This week, the place where business owners and entrepreneurs receive valuable insight and take away information to improve their profitability and their business growth. If you haven't joined us before, my name is Harvey Lynch, founder and owner of Crown Business Development. We're a consulting and coaching firm helping the owners of small to medium-sized businesses accelerate their business growth by developing and helping them implement strategies in the areas of business planning, increasing profitability, and business systems. Now, joining us again tonight is Steve Becchio. He's coming on in now.
Hey,
Steve-o, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, mate. Pleasure to be here. The Sydney contingent is back for some Q&A tonight, so looking forward to it.
Excellent, buddy. And how's business, how's life going over on your side of the country? Things are, we've hit phase 4 over here in WA now, so restrictions are further lifting for businesses and the general public as well.
Yeah, we're optimistically cautious at the moment. There's a few cases in Victoria, so hopefully we'll get on top of those. But things are starting to open up again, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going. There's a lot of optimism in the business community as well. Fingers crossed on that. But yeah, so far so good.
Oh, that's really good, mate. And I know, just a quick one over here, the local football club's really excited because we actually get to go and play footy now and actually enjoy ourselves. So
it's been a while.
Yeah. So, folks, we're talking about mindset tonight. It's big on the minds of people, really. I think right now is a very important time to concentrate on making sure as a business owner your head's in the right space. And what I mean by that is out of this whole COVID period and moving forward now, getting back into business, there can be a lot of strains and stresses on the owners of businesses and dealing with a new economy, a new environment, and that could be in good ways and bad. And so we want to cover off on that tonight. And we're having a discussion, really. So if you want to join the discussion tonight, you can send in a comment and head on over to StreamYard. We'll just bring up the link there now so that you can join the conversation. And if you send in a comment or something in the chat, you will actually we'll be able to see who you are and mention your name if you've got a question to ask as well. So StreamYard.com/Facebook if you want to join in the conversation tonight and send in your comments there. So, Steve, I think a big one for me on mindset is obviously when we're trying to deal with things, we're trying to take our, whether it be our business or ourselves, from a place where we are now, which we might not be very happy with. And we want to take ourselves to a new place where our business is performing a lot better than it is now. And there's some things to overcome. So I want to just quickly share my screen, Steve, and we'll go through a bit of a screen share. So it's all about deciding, well, what do we actually want in this whole process? What is the outcome we want for our business, right? You see here where we've got A and we want to get ourselves over to B. Well, to do that, you will see there's a few things we need to cover off on, right? And I can't take credit for this image. I've actually borrowed this image off someone else tonight. But you may have seen this image before. And where we are right now, where letter A is we're sitting in a comfort zone. But that comfort zone is keeping us there because it feels familiar to us. we're not, it's familiar. We're not, we feel in control of what we're doing, but we still might not be happy with where we are, right? But to get us over to position B, where we really want to be with our business, we've got to start tackling a few different steps between here and there, right? Now, I like to use the classic analogy of a sporting team or sporting athletes, individuals for sport. I have a lot of background in sport, and I know for a sports person to become the best athlete or a team to become the best team, there's a lot of different fear factors they've got to go through in the fact that they need to, first of all, decide, well, for me to be the best, I've got to go through a lot of fear, a lot of learning, and a lot of growth in my abilities to become that best sports person. And it's not very comfortable to do, right? So to get out of our comfort zone as a sports person, you've got to go through and do the hard yards at training, and you've really got to push your body to the limits, right? Get over that fear of going for those long runs or lifting those heavy weights, and stop finding excuses to get out of that, and thinking, not listening to the opinions of other people. So when we think about back to our business now and thinking exactly what you might be wanting to achieve with your business, and not listening to the opinions of others dictate the choices that you make in your business, is really going to help you push through that fear zone. Then, of course, across to the learning zone, where you now think about, okay, well, if you've made that new pivot in your business, or you're taking on different products, different services that you need to upskill yourself on, to acquire the new skills, and you've also, to do that, you're going to have to take action on that, and you're going to make some mistakes, right? You're going to make some mistakes moving forward. But once you've done that and you push through to what we call the growth zone now, right, where you actually are starting to achieve new levels of growth in your business, new levels where you're starting to conquer those fears, conquer those objectives that you may once thought was very difficult. And now you start to really find your true purpose in what you're doing with your business, and you realize you can accomplish just about anything. What do you got anything else to add into there, Steve?
Yeah, mate, that's a great chart, and I think nobody's immune to the fear, and nobody's immune to that comfort zone. It's a constant thing for most people to push themselves out of that comfort zone, and psychology is such a major part of it too. I mean, we've got this part of our brain which is, like thousands of millions of years old. It's the reptilian brain, and our brains are wired to avoid moving out of our comfort zone, and this is something prehistoric. It's as soon as there's fear, we don't like change, we don't like to move. So it's important to recognize that, and to recognize how our brains work here, and to be able to manage how we think. So it's a great this chart's a great example of what we need to push through.
Yeah, yes, and I think to really, I guess, set that in stone for what we're trying to achieve in pushing through these levels of fears is that, I want to make mention of a few distinct points, and that is that when trying to achieve new levels of business or new levels of growth in anywhere in life, and this is coming from my own opinion, is number one is that learning from your mistakes, and because a change is the perspective that is needed to win in business. And obviously, first of all, being open to change, and learning from your mistakes is one of the number one things to help overcome that. So, look, none of us are perfect, and so mistakes, and sometimes they're inevitable, right? So you should make mistakes in your business, and you could approach them with a faulty mindset. So you might tell yourself that you're a failure, or you might try to abortion blame elsewhere when thinking about what you've done. So neither attitude is conducive to business success. However, if you take on a learning mindset, you'll benefit yourself and your business. This is a more optimistic and a more realistic approach, because if you can understand why mistakes have been made and take some responsibility for them, you should be able to find solutions as to what went wrong. You can then take what you've learned and move forward with the knowledge that you can do 100% better. The second one is knowing that you can't do this alone. So, as we said in the first point there, we're not all perfect, right? So some business owners arrogantly think of themselves as being better than they are, and this is probably why they make so many mistakes, right? They tend to micromanage employees or take responsibilities away from them. They lack the trust in outsourced firms, and they like to tackle complicated tasks on their own. So by doing so, they bring their business close to ruin because of their own arrogance and distrust of others, right? So they push themselves towards burnout and exhaustion by just taking on too much. So it's important to realise that you can't do it alone if you're trying to achieve new levels of success with your business. And the third point I have here today is failure is not an option. So I think when looking at business statistics, it can be easy to assume failure is inevitable. And because of this, you might develop a failure type of mindset. So you might assume that you aren't as good as the competition, or consequently put little effort into beating them. And by fearing failure, you might take fewer risks within your business. The upshot of this is your business probably will fail with that type of thinking. So to counter this and assume inevitably, by letting the thought of failure drive you towards success. So you should take on the mindset that you have the ability to beat the competition, as well as this will give you the structure to find ways to do so. And you can take calculated risks within your business in the hope that they will profit from your business, instead of assuming they might doom it into oblivion. You see, you might fall on the right side of business statistics. So opt for a glass that is half full rather than half empty. So I would encourage you to consider your mindsets and get geared towards success rather than failure, and have a think about right now what sort of mindset you're currently taking on with your business, and anything in life for that matter, and focus on the success-orientated type mindset, and worry about those fears and what other people might think for another day. Steve, any input on that, mate?
Yeah, mate, that's great. You know, there's a saying that you should fail your way to success, and failure is going to be inevitable. And the sooner you can get over that, sooner you can try stuff. You will fail. You try it. You move on. And I think you make a good point there about working as a team. You know, anyone who tries to be successful by themselves, you know, if they do make it, it's a lonely road, and you know, you get to the end of it, it's not. Yeah, you might fall off the cliff, really. So starting right and starting together is great advice, and nobody does it alone. And yeah, I mean, you know, I actually came tonight. I had a really good mental model, and that I want to share. It's taught by Tony Robbins, and it's something that sort of you know, you can put into use straight away. I wanted to bring something that, you know, could actually present that I use, and it takes a bit of conscious use of it, but it's the success cycle. And many people I talk to, so the bright people understand this intuitively, but for the mere mortals, myself included, it's to understand that success is a cycle. So at the moment you start taking some action, you get some results, you start getting some success and some belief, and then you see the potential, and that leads to more action. So it's a cycle that improves over time. Now it all starts with action, because once you start some action, you will get some results, and you may fail, but you will get some successes, and that will lead to further action. It works the other way too. If you don't take any action, you'll get no results. Your belief will go down, your potential will go down. So this is it's an increasing cycle, and this is you know, you've probably seen this with Tony Robbins. He's a teacher of this, but it's a very helpful way to think about it in a very simple way. It's something that you can implement each day when you wake up in the morning. So yeah, great area.
Sure, I think that's a fantastic way to talk about success, in the fact that it is actually a cycle, starting from your beliefs, and putting your beliefs into focus, into action plans, and taking action on those plans, and then working your way around the cycle till you've reached success. So I think that's a great diagram there to explain it, how it actually works. And another point I might add is that from observation over my time, noticing business owners, and from my opinions as well, is that there is always options out there, and you've just got to start looking for them. You've probably heard about the law of attraction and all that sort of thing, and I have a firm belief on that. There's always an option, there's always an answer to anything in life, and you've just got to start looking. And that's where that positive mindset, I think, kicks in, is that once you start looking for the answers to issues, then they will generally show up at some point in time. If you've got that mentality of a glass half empty, then you're probably not going to go looking for anything and play the victim of everything, and not really achieve or move forward in any way at all. So, Steve, I think that's pretty much knocked it on the head tonight for the mindset thinking at the moment. I think the main thing to do is, if you're struggling with moving forward with the right decisions, and knowing if you've got the right frame of mind, about making decisions in your business, is to reach out. And if someone was to reach out to you, mate, where would they be best get hold of you, buddy?
Oh, mate, they can get me at www.asksteve.online, and I'm happy to have a chat with anyone. I did have one more thing, actually, mate, because this is a really cool thing as well. And we were talking about, a lot of people have, I just want to make this point. I won't take up too much time, but a lot of people have trouble taking action, yeah? So I have a look on YouTube and have a look at Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule, because our brains are wired to not take action. If we think about stuff for too long, there's a good chance we won't take action. And the 5-second rule is, if you think you should do something, you count down 5 seconds and you do it within 5 seconds. And if you can train yourself to do that, that's something you can use when you get up in the morning. You know, I've got to go to the gym. I've got to get up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty simple technique. And have a look on YouTube for Mel Robbins. That's. I just want to share that tonight, because if you use that, it works. Backed by science too. Lots of scientific studies for that. It's our reptilian brain at work there. But
yeah, it's great you mentioned that, because I was thinking that just the other day. I was actually talking to a fella about that, and I couldn't remember the person's name that came up with it. But I've used it in the past myself.
Mel Robbins did a TED talk on this some time ago, and it's been around for ages. But yeah, excellent.
Yeah. I've used it myself, actually, when you go to jump into a freezing cold pool, and you're standing there on the edge, and you dip that toe in the wall. You think, I just bloody jump in with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm in, and it's over. It absolutely hurts like hell, but you just do it, and you're fine after that. So it's a great little concept to use with things like that, particularly when you're trying to punch through that fear zone. So yeah, fantastic. Steve, thanks a lot for joining us tonight, mate, and look forward to another chat sometime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more information on how we at Crown Business Development can help you with decision-making in your business, if you're after more insight about the services and what we can help you with in growing profits, planning your business for the future, as well as putting systems in place, I've actually put a link in the comments below where you can check out more information there and reach out if you need some help. So have a great one, ladies and gentlemen. All the best from us tonight. Thanks for joining us on Crown Business TV. We'll see you 6:30 p.m. Western Standard Time here in Australia next week. Catch you then. Bye for now.